Alright, welcome to Just Morpheus Gaming. I was going to continue where I left off with my Let's Play on Dwarf Fortress. I am learning more and more about the magics of video editing, and I'm curious on some feedback for if the accelerated format is liked over the slower one. Where I left off last time was a couple random things that bother me, or I'm not sure if it bothers other people. I left some random pillar there, and why is this little chunk on this stockpile? I left off with working on expanding my kitchen. I never actually automated the booze, so yeah, so not fruit. It's actually plants, I guess. Or I just failed it. One way or the other, I'll find out. Plump isn't there either. Either way, I need some booze is what I was after. If I can get fruit, I will. I created a masterpiece pine bin. Well, that's convenient. Or that carpenter I have really needs to be a carpenter, because I bet he is a good carpenter. Wood crafting. I'm not looking for wood crafting. I'm looking for carpentry. Getting somebody that's a dedicated cook is a good idea, though. The sooner I can get like a master cook, the better. Have my fisher dwarf be the cook. Custom detail for woodworking carpentry at the very beginning. I don't know how I missed it. An adept carpenter. Having multiple people be able to pick up a job is nice. Cranberries. So knowing even what berries can be processed, because it's nice to know that cranberries can be turned into cranberry wine. And that cranberries are part of my local environment and this is actually supposed to be a booze pile. So if I go into food and say drink from all plant and animal, I am out of drink. That's not necessarily good. Dwarves. It's like take 3 on screwing that up. I don't know why I'm floundering with that. No seeds, no cheese, no drinks, eggs, unprepared fish, meat, meals. Just 1 second, I'm kidding. Sorry about that. Normally he's super good about not being annoying. Looking at potentially doing here is like the well, from turning this area into a well and getting water up, because I am really close to needing that. At this point, I'm just going to slap together some rooms because I need something over nothing. Where are my miners still working up here? Yeah, that's unfortunate in that I have no more empty storage bins. Barrels. I need to put booze in barrels. And at this point, the fort should just be coming together nicely. I don't have to reissue any tasks because the sandstone's on automation. One of the things I was noticing, I need to be smoother on my transitions when I'm looking around. The supply caravan, which is nice. I do believe I need a trade depot. I'm temporarily just going to slap this up outside. Although it is currently raining. Alright, I need to get a broker up here. I should also look to see where the trade caravan came from. Because they are almost right next to me. Broker requested a depot. So gem bin number 5, it's pine. So move goods to bin, bins, pine, number 5. Contains gems. I'm glad to see I'm making more masterpieces. I'm starting to get some extra animals, which is good. Something random about I don't hear my game audio anymore. I thought the game audio was cutting out when I was reviewing the videos, and there's actually sections where there is no game audio. And I thought I did something odd in the cut or with the audio files, but I made a special note. Is he conducting the meeting? So, something random. If you ever need to find your people or get more depth into them, the people, citizens, is I guess where to do that. I was looking for my expedition leader, and it says he is just standing right there. Normally, I get a pop-up saying that like I can choose what I want shipped in next year. Alright, he's currently having the meeting. The weather's cleared, which is good. Certain point, anyone can request? I want my broker. One trader is ready to trade, I know. The one thing about having a broker is somebody that's a good judge at the value of an item. I was wondering about the legitimacy of letting it just play out for a little bit more. He's conducting a meeting with who? I'm assuming it's that person. I just have to wait for the meeting to finish. Brokerage depot. And there's the diplomacy bubble I was looking for. I get the option to ask for specific things. One of the things that I tend to ask for are some miscellaneous charcoal. And on that note, if I can get them as raw materials, it's even better. It has been a long time since I've done this, though. And knowing specifically what you're after in here is trial and error. Experience helps. Even though it's been a while since I've done this, I was almost expecting my memory to be like, it was there. I'm not seeing what I was expecting. Paper's always nice also because I don't have an industry going. Asking for cloth isn't a bad idea. It means it will be more expensive, but it will be available. It has an odd name. And I can't, at this point I'm locked into it, I can't go back and look at something else. So you really do need to know what you're looking for before you come in here. Quivers, backpack, glass. I'm just gonna scrap it. Moving on. So next year, they want potash and leather water skins. So leather water skins should be somewhat easy for me to produce. If you're conducting a meeting, I need you up here. Sometimes dwarves just kind of do their own thing. At this point, I'm going to just go hunt him down again. Who's he conducting a meeting with? It's the same liaison. They're on their way. Trade. This is where, in a way, it gets interesting. I have about 2,000 amount of value. Wondering how well my guy actually understands the value of that. I'm just on a way almost looking for things that are on sale. A piano wouldn't be bad as far as a musical instrument. I'm nowhere near being able to slap one of those together. 1,000 for an oob. Puzzle box for a kid wouldn't be a bad idea. I need to get some toys together. Like 20 for a toy boat. I'll take that in a heartbeat. Toy hammer for 60. One thing about cages is that I can melt them down afterwards. They're double valued. Even a lead cage for 20 isn't bad because I can get a lead bar out of it. So I'll take the empty copper cage for 25. I'll take the goose. The 2 lay pewters. Pewter's a weak stone, but you can reshape it into something like a statue that'll have value. And it's heavy, depending on what you're looking for. The trader still thinks he's making a great amount of money, so I'm good with that. Clothing is always a good idea. The steel high boots? I have no steel. And having some armor will be a huge benefit. And at a certain point, I'm willing to sell all this. I can replace it in the next year, not a problem. Socks, yes, please. I'll pick up an iron shield. A steel helm. Gloves. My people will appreciate any clothing I can pick up. It's almost what that comes down to. I will be making a bunch of chests, so once again, if I can get that cheap, I will. Trading, in a way, is part of what makes this game. Like, just this bag, they want 1,000 for. Once I actually get my own industry up, this will seem a lot different. Deer leather. For 20, I'll pick up that. Plump helmet. Spawn. So I can turn this directly into booze and get more seeds out of it. I will pick up an entire crate of llama wool. That is a bunch of cloth. I think I might actually just pick almost all that up. I'm getting near the end of my ability to cover this. I'm actually past my ability to cover this. Boo. I almost need to get that back to being green. having better armor is nice. That only took me into yellow. I don't necessarily need to be in green, but I have to be close to green. The thing about buying the buckets and the wood is that the elves are going to be grumpy about me cutting down forest stuff. I haven't quite made it there, which is good because I'm still free to fall a bunch of trees. Take out the socks. I bought enough cloth. I was even wondering about, I can take out the shirt. I'm back to green, which is good. The shield, the helm. I will take out the hood and the gloves because I want to try and throw in the bin of cloth. I'll just make it myself. But yeah, at that point now, my people will just start shuffling all that into my home. And I need to remember to tell my broker not to be there anymore. Otherwise, I'll just sit. One thing I did notice on reviewing the footage was the poor soil quality. Cavern soil is best. It used to be that making mud gave you, I thought, high quality soil. I'm gonna try and slap together a bunch of beds. I'll slap some doors in there. Do need more booze. I'm gonna tell them to make my bar bigger. If they have enough area to have like a dance floor, I should get some gathering areas. Like seeing those gems. Make an 8x6, followed by an 8x6. That will be 2 sections for like guild halls or religions amongst the people that are here. Like most of my will worship one god, or dwarves are polytheistic. Glad to see more gems. I now have 10 people that are grumpy. I'm also going to slap in some bookcases. I thought I got that under automation. The rock bookcase. I'll just kick 10 over for now. Yeah, I was about to say I can make my own bed stockpile. I normally put my wood crafts near my wood area, and furniture isn't always necessarily wood. In fact, why they allow you to give a lot of depth to the configuration of the stockpile. There's a peacock down there, which means I got more people that came in, and they brought 2 dogs, which is nice. They are somebody's pets, both of them. What I was wondering about was the animals that I bought. I think I kicked them both out to make room for it, and I'm just being silly. Make my meeting area for my first religious hall or whatever. I don't really have enough to support a guild hall at this point, so I'm actually going to go for a temple just look through here real quick. So that's actually not bad. There's almost no diversity through here. There are a few gods that I know about, but most of them aren't being worshipped. The Fortress of Jade, Wealth and Trade. And then Rawl the Crystalline Gem for 5. And then I start breaking into like these aren't actual religions, they're more like sects of a religion, or they have sub-beliefs. There's three religions. There's a 9, a 5, and a 4. Either way, biggest bang for your buck, get 9 people there. Definitely seem to make my people happier there. Should have people churning those blocks for me. There's one where my miners ran off to. I will set up those other meeting areas. One other thing while I'm here, all visitors are welcome. This opens my fortress up to other people coming into the fortress. The value of the room is only 90 gold. I can get a performer. I can lock it to citizens only, citizens and long-term residents only, or everybody. Everybody is a little risky. As soon as I've made that first declaration, it now opens up people to come here, specifically to worship. I am more than happy to open my fort to the world, even though that is bound to bring me issues in the long run. It isn't necessarily about playing it safe, it's about having fun, I guess. Next. New temple. Ral the crystalline gem. And if I say I'd established, I'm now down to Ursus. At this point, I think I'm going to snag the Doctrine of Wheeling. Going back to my people like wealth and trade. They worship the Fortunes of Jade, so it's a subsect of the Fortunes of Jade. So at this point, I have some booze. I need meat, which means I need to get the butcher and the auto farm going up. So I wonder why I have oysters and mussels sitting here that aren't being processed. If they're the shells, I need to maybe set a refuse pile? Just trying to figure out the best way to... I'm going to make the well real quick. I need water. Yeah, more migrants have arrived. 19 population. So there's definitely pressure on the fort for making, I guess, more bedrooms, etc. So my people are just tearing through that. I am going to issue a work order on this one for a bunch of rock blocks. Just because I want it to start splitting, and I don't... If I were to issue the... Sorry, sidetracked with... If I were to issue the command globally, they'd be picked up on both. What I was curious about is the aquifer. I was expecting there to be water here, and there really isn't. If I channel down one more, what does that look like? Still not wet. I could just dig over here and put up a door. I mean, somewhere through here there is going to be water. Or that's at least my expectation? How did I mine that down too? I just put them in a pit that I can't get out of. So mine this one out, mine that one out. I can just put a door up here to keep the water from coming through. And soon enough, this should just be creating water for me. One thing I can do is mark these boulders for garbage. I'm going to do that real quick. And that I want them to haul them almost immediately. Garbage dump. Before this fills with water, I'd like my people to just kind of get that out of there. This should all start leaking water and helping fill this. I wouldn't mind channeling down a little bit more here. So I can channel all of that out. Do one more garbage dump here. I just didn't want them down here at the bottom of the well. I don't want any of my people to potentially be running down there to try and drown in this. I can cut back here, but not over here. The aquifer continues back this way. If I break out that one, I lose one of my water-producing tiles. The more water-producing tiles I can create, the better. Damp stone located. It's back to raining and clear. Guys become a gem cutter, which is nice. More migrants. They have embarked on their journey, which means I can now dismantle this. And I will look to move that inside. I did expand this pile. So yeah, I'm about to, I think, call it here for a little bit at least. But yeah, definitely liking how the fort's coming along. It's just a little slower than I'd care for. Look forward to getting back to some Dwarf Fortress in the future.